Welcome back to Morton Field at Reading Memorial High School for Game 2 of today's Blue Sox Reading Bulldogs doubleheader here on LSP. Sam Feely here with you as the Blue Sox took Game 1 of this doubleheader 8-0, their second shutout victory in 3 games. It was a bell-to-bell great performance with Dorian Rojas picking up 3 RBIs and then Alcis Herrera and Nick Godfrey combining on the 3-hit shutout. Blue Sox got their first 4 runs on just 2 hits, in fact. Bulldogs looking for revenge as they enter this game now at 10-8-1, and the Blue Sox at 17-7. No result yet from the Chiefs-Merchants game that started at 3 o'clock over at Wakefield Memorial High School. We'll get that to you as soon as we can, if it is posted by the time this game is over. Dom Zaire is going to lead things off here in the top of the first, and the first pitch at 5:23 is in there for strike one. We're underway. Zaire getting the start in left field as that sails over his head into the backstop for ball 1. And another one sails over his head, and today's starter, Jack Therio, doesn't have it right now. Wonder what's gotten into him. He's usually very good. Zaire banked .222, no RBIs, 2 hits, in fact, both singles and 9 at-bats. But made quite the impression, of course, against Somerville a couple weeks ago, throwing out the would-be game-tying run to end the ballgame. It's a little slow dribbler on the infield, fielded by the shortstop Cedeno on to first, and Zaire is retired for the first out of the ballgame. So that'll bring up Morgan Brown. Brown's the number 7 hitter in the first game. He's in the number 2 slot today, and he comes off a 2-for-4 performance with 2 runs scored. A check swing, and he went around, so it's strike 1. Therio coming into play at 2-1 with a .350 ERA. This is his 5th appearance of the season. In 10 innings of work, he's allowed 11 hits, 6 runs, 5 which are earned, as Brown chops this one to the left side again. It's fielded by the third baseman Nowak on to first, and quickly 2 down. So good recovery here from Therio after throwing a couple of pitches over the head of Zaire. Gets 2 groundouts. Therio, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 1 wild pitch in 10 innings of work. Here is Taylor Ferguson, the center fielder, and he takes high ball 1. Ferg was 0 for 3, a walk and a run scored, as he hits a broken back grounder down the third base line, but it is foul for strike 1 to even the count. Ferguson, waiting for him to get a fresh piece of lumber here, and now he's ready. The wind and the pitch from Therio. Down it in, 2-1. Be Dominic Zaire, left fielder, Morgan Brown, the shortstop, Taylor Ferguson in center, Julian Alvarez is in right. Ferguson smokes this one to left, and that one is gone. What? Foul? Really? Wow. Jeez. Tough break. So Ferguson hit it a country mile, but couldn't straighten it up. He hits this one on the ground. Nowak has it. Fires on to first. And after escaping danger there, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Theriault. And after half an inning, as the announcer will try to get his eyes straight, it is the Blue Sox nothing and the Bulldogs coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. Fairly similar lineup for the Bulldogs to what they had in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Darren Hartwell leading things off in center field. Takes strike one, to be followed by Tyler Cedeno at short. Chris Bosco is behind the plate. Mike Taylor is at first. Zach Tallis is the DH. Kyle Brennan is in right. Shane Nowak is at third. Joey Hodapp is in left. And Dan Baker rounds out the lineup at second. 1-1 the count to Hartwell. Hartwell was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The Blue Sox pitcher is Casey Bassone. And Bassone making his 7th appearance of the season, 2-1 with an even 3 ERA. In 21 innings, he's allowed 27 hits, 13 runs, 9 of which are earned, walked 7, and struck out 20. He bounces that one, and it's 2-2. Faced the Bulldogs in his last appearance back on July 24th. 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks. No strikeouts, and surrendered 1 home run. It's fouled off by Hartwell, and it remains 2-2. Best appearance of the season came on June 15th against Watertown. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 unearned run, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Looking for his first win since June 15th. This is smoked into right center field. Alvarez is on his horse. It's going to go into the gap, and Hartwell's going to easily have 2, maybe more. Throw comes in to Russo, and it'll be a leadoff double for Darren Hartwell. That'll bring up Tyler Cedeno, the shortstop. Cedeno was 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Check swing. That missed. Ball 1. Hartwell's 0-for snapped a 4-game winning hitting streak for him, but he gets a new streak started here with a leadoff double. Time is called. Hartwell batting .367 now before that double. That's in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Cedeno batting .345 after his 0-for in Game 1. He fouls that one off just barely. The defensive alignment for the Blue Sox: left to right in the outfield, Zaire, Ferguson, and Alvarez. Third to first in the infield, Silvestro, Brown, Russo, and Wolf. And Putras catching Basone. Basone, the right-hander from Rick DeAngelis' high school alma mater, St. John's Prep, and MIT. And that hit him. That's smarts. So first and second, and on a 1-2 pitch, no less. Second hit batsman by Blue Sox pitching on the day. First one was Kyle Brennan back in the second inning of Game 1. And now here's Chris Bosco. .292 with 1 homer and 10 RBIs after being 0-for 2 in Game 1. Chance for a first run of the ball game here for Bosco. Silvestro. Kind of an interesting defensive position. It's like he's holding on a runner at third. Corner infielder somewhat in. That's in there for strike 1. I mean, you wouldn't expect to lay one down with your number 3 hitter, but Bosco, with his speed, could easily leg one out and load the bases for the cleanup man, Mike Taylor, on deck. Right now, Basone needs to be thinking double play ball here. Popped up down the right field line, and that's going to drop for a base hit. It dies on Alvarez. He's going to rifle it back to home plate. And a good job to hold Hartwell at third with good speed, but now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Where were these opportunities for the Bulldogs in Game 1 of this doubleheader? They only had 2 runners on base once all game last game. Now here they are with the bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the first. And Taylor rifles this one into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. The second run will hold at third as another strong throw from the outfield has him play station to station. But it is now 1-0, and already a visit from Matt Karras. So Taylor picks up his 7th RBI of the season. Here's Zach Tallis. Had a pinch hit walk in the last game, and he takes strike 1. Still nobody out in the inning. Leadoff double by Hartwell. Cedeno is hit by a pitch, and then back-to-back singles. And Tallis fouls that one off. 0-2. So the Bulldogs exceeding their run total and matching their hit total from the last game before an out is recorded. This is popped up into foul territory and out of play. It will remain 0-2. Again, Basone looking for his first win since June 15th. And Tallis hits this one into center field. It should be caught. Ferguson makes the catch, tagging from third. They'll go for the out at third instead of the runner at home, and in safely is Bosco. So Cedeno scores, and it is now 2-0 with one out and runners at the corners. So it's a sacrifice fly for Tallis. Now a double play opportunity, possibly, if he can get Kyle Brennan to roll one over. And Brennan takes high, ball one. Tallis picks up his 10th RBI, tying him for the team lead. And this is hit into left field. Back goes Zaire. He's going to make the catch. He's got an arm, but it's not going to be enough to try and get Bosco. As the third run of the inning scores on a sacrifice fly. And it is 3-0 Bulldogs. Action already in the Blue Sox bullpen as Basone comes set, and Shane Nowak, the third baseman, takes ball one. So Basone, another rough outing already. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 3 runs allowed in just 2/3 of an inning. Popped up foul, and it's 1-2. Basone has now allowed 15 runs in his last 11 2/3 innings. Two and two. Three runs and 3 hits in the inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. But the Bulldogs unleashed some frustration from game 1 with 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. After 1 complete, Bulldogs 3, Blue Sox nothing. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Julian Alvarez to lead things off here in the top of the second as the Blue Sox find themselves trailing 3-0. Hoping to avoid having their 5-game winning streak snapped, as that is in there for strike one to Alvarez. 3 groundouts in the top of the first for the Blue Sox. And Alvarez comes up empty, and it's 0-2. The full lineup for the Blue Sox: Dominic Zaire leading it off in left field, followed by Morgan Brown at short. Taylor Ferguson is in center. Julian Alvarez is in right. Justin Silvestro is at third. Alex Wojcik is the DH. Thomas Russo is at second. Nate Wolf is at first. And John Puttress rounds out the lineup behind the plate, as that is low to Julian for ball one. Jules took an 0 for 3 in game one of this doubleheader, and he takes ball 2, 2-2. And a big cut and a miss, and Julian is retired for out number 1. I'll bring up Justin Silvestro, the third baseman. Stroh went 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI in game 1. The first pitch to Stroh is low for ball 1. Upstairs for ball 2. And Stroh grounds this one to the right side and through for a base hit. There's the first hit of the ball game for the Blue Sox. I'll bring up Alex Wojcik, getting the start in the DH slot as the ball skips away from the catcher, Bosco, and up to second goes Silvestro, so a gift there. And Bosco was kind of nonchalant getting to the ball in the first place. So 1-0 to Wojcik on the wild pitch. And Wojcik pops this one up on the infield. It'll be caught by the first baseman, Taylor, for out number 2. So it'll be up to Thomas Russo to try and bring in Silvestro. Russo was 2 for 3 in game 1 with a run scored as he takes upstairs ball 1. That's low for ball 2. Silvestro at second, 2 out here in the top of the second. 3-0. With the first baseman and number 8 hitter, Nate Wolf, due up next. Bulldogs striking for 3 runs in the bottom of the first. That's taken all the way for strike 1. And Russo hits this one past the diving shortstop Cedeno into left field for a base hit. Silvestro will score. It's an RBI single, and the Blue Sox are on the board. It's 3-1. Russo picks up the RBI. And that's low for ball one to Nate Wolf. Wolf was 0 for 1 in game one of this doubleheader after pinch running for Dorian. Throw over to first and back safely is Russo. Wolf enters play at .296 with 1 homer and 5 RBI. Upstairs, 2-0. Dario delivers, and that's ball 3. And now with Dario behind 3-0, Bosco goes out to the mound again. Three and 0 the count. Russo at first. That's at the knees for strike one. Blue Sox with 1 run and 2 hits in the inning and looking for more. Won't get it there as it's fouled off. That'll make it 3-2. So Russo will be off with this pitch. The payoff pitch, runner goes. The pitch is grounded to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Baker on to first for the out that retires the side. Blue Sox get on the board with 1 run on 2 hits and leave 1. After 1.5, Bulldogs 3, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Joey Hot up to lead things off here in the bottom of the second for the Reading Bulldogs. 8-9-1 hitters due up. This is grounded up the middle, fielded by Brown. He'll fire onto first. 1 pitch, 1 out. A much different tune than the last inning in which Basone threw 22 pitches, allowed 3 runs on 3 hits. So that'll bring up Dan Baker, the second baseman. Baker did not play in the first game of this doubleheader. And Baker takes strike 1. Baker playing in his 7th game. He's 6 for 16 with 1 homer and 5 RBIs. He has struck out 5 times in 16 at-bats, though. As he takes ball 1 and the count evens at 1. Just missed. 2-1. In there for strike 2. Fouled straight back. Skips away from Putty to the backstop, and it'll be a full count. Three-two pitch with the leadoff hitter Hartwell due up next. Foul tipped into Putty's mitt for strike 3, and there are 2 down. It's important to get Baker out with Hartwell coming up next. Basone picks up his second strikeout, and here's Hartwell, who got the party started in the bottom of the first with a leadoff double and then scored the game's first run. Outside for ball 1. Third baseman Silvestro playing even with the bag. The rest of the infielders playing back, and that's fouled off on an excuse-me swing by Hartwell for strike 1 to even the count. 32 pitches thus far for Mr. Basone. And that's at the knees for strike 2, 1-2. 2 sacrifice flies and an RBI single brought home the 3 runs for the Bulldogs last inning. And kind of a feeble swing at a pitch downstairs, just barely fouled off by Hartwell. And it remains 1-2. Oh my. Foul ball went straight off the mask of the home plate umpire. I know if Sam Finn were umpiring behind home plate, he doesn't wear a helmet. He just wears the mask and a ball cap. So 1-2 to Hartwell. Basone comes set. And the pitch. Reached for and fouled off again. Basone shakes off Putty once, then comes set. Foul tipped into the mid again for strike 3. A high fastball there. 3 strikeouts for Basone, and after 2 complete, it is still the Bulldogs 3 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. John Puttress to lead things off here in the top of the third for the Blue Sox. Putty did not play in the first game of this doubleheader. And he comes into play batting 167 with 2 RBIs. And Putty takes ball 1. Two and 0. And Putty laces this one down the left field line into the corner for a base hit. Putty will hold at first. And a leadoff single for the Blue Sox as they try to get another run back. That'll bring up Dominic Zaire. Zaire grounded out to short his first time up, leading off the ball game. And he fouls this one straight back for strike 1. Putty small lead at first there. And the pitch. Pitch is high, throw down to first. And back safely is Putty as he teeters on the first base bag, getting back. Zaire wanted to lay one down there. In the dirt, blocked by Bosco, and it's 2-1. Bosco starting both games of a doubleheader behind the plate. Was pinch hit for towards the end of the last game. Big cut and a miss by Zaire at a high fastball, and it's 2-2. But he is one of your best players. You expect him to chip in like that. The 2-2 to Zaire. Blocked by Bosco again, and it's a full count. Don't think we'll see Putty run on this pitch. Morgan Brown due up next. Three-two. Liner into left field for a base hit. So on a full count, it's first and second. Nobody out. That puts the tying run at first for Morgan Brown. Brown grounded out to third, his first time up. Infielders come in. Brown squares. It's a good one. It's bobbled by the pitcher. He'll only go to first, and the sacrifice is successful. And now it's second and third. Tying run now in scoring position for Taylor Ferguson, who your friendly neighborhood announcer mistakenly called getting a home run last time. Wasn't even close now that I realize it. Sacrifice goes 1-4. And that'll see what Ferguson could do here. Puttress at third. Zaire at second. Pitches in the dirt. A lot of pitches bouncing on Bosco today. First it was both this game and now from Therio. Taken all the way for strike 1. Ferguson again grounded out to third his first time up, ending the first. Woolman and Raynone bounced a few pitches as this is grounded down the third baseline and foul for strike two. So big pitch here with Alvarez due up next. That's a high one. Forced Ferg to duck, and it's 2-2. Ferguson fouls that one off. Bird feather just fell onto me. Two and two the count, and the pitch grounded to the left side. And they'll hold Patras, and the play goes 5-3. 4 out, number 2. Alvarez 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Alvarez comes up empty. He wanted to give the Blue Sox the lead with one swing of the bat there. Instead, it's 0-1. Doesn't need to do that. He just needs a solid base hit to bring home 2 and tie this game if he can do it. High for ball 1. Back-to-back singles to begin this inning. And then a sacrifice bunt by Brown. And Ferguson grounded out, holding the runner at third. Alvarez takes inside, 2-1. Blue Sox fell behind 3-0 after 1. Got 1 back in the top half of the second. Alvarez takes high, ball 3. Justin Silvestro on deck. Patras at third, Zaire at second. The 3-1. Into center field. Hartwell's camping under it, and that'll do it. The Blue Sox rally comes up short. And after 2.5, it is still the Bulldogs 3 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. Blue Sox now out hitting the Bulldogs 4-3, but trailing in the one column where it matters, the run column 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Bulldogs. Cedeno was hit by a pitch and scored his first time up in the first as he fouls that one off for strike one. Cedeno wants to bunt his way on, but he went around as he came up empty. And it's 0-2. Both Hartwell and Cedeno in the first 2 runs of this game, reached on a 2-strike hit as that skips to the backstop. Hartwell reached on a 2-strike double after being behind 1-2, and Cedeno was hit by a 1-2 pitch. You got to put these batters away when you're ahead and you got 2 strikes on them. As this is lined out of the reach of Brown, and another example there as that goes into left field on a 1-2 count for a leadoff base hit. Persona ahead. It's even ahead 0-2 and 1-2 before allowing that single. So that'll bring up Chris Bosco. Singled and scored his first time up. Bosco wants to bunt. Holds up, and it's ball 1. Throw over to first. Going to be a close play, and back safely is Cedeno. Cedeno's got legs. He has 5 steals on the year. Throw over to first, and he's safe again. Bosco delivers, no run, and the pitch is a diving catch by the first baseman, and he'll throw to Russo covering first for the double play. Oh, great layout by Wolf. The double play goes 3-4. It's the second 3-4 double play we've seen turned by the Blue Sox today. Let me hear you howl. So that'll bring up Mike Taylor. The base is empty, now 2 away. And Taylor takes strike 1. Taylor singled home the Bulldogs' first run back in the first. Oh, and 2. Infield back here for the power hitting Taylor. And he grounds this one to the right side. It'll be fielded by the second baseman, Russo, on to first in time. And after 3 complete, it is still the Bulldogs 3 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox host the Wakefield Merchants. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. So we have our first final from the other Intercity League action today as Andre defeats Wakefield 4-3. That pulls Andre even at 500, and that's in there for strike one. Silvestro singled and scored, was thus far the Blue Sox only run back in the second. And he hits this one into center field. On his horse is Hartwell. He leaps. He can't catch it. He hustles it back into the infield, and it'll be a leadoff double for Silvestro. And looks like Silvestro may have pulled up lame, so Silvestro's coming off. C.J. McKinnott is going to pinch run, and that is a tough break for the Blue Sox, who already lost Ross Curley. So Silvestro's night ends 2 for 2. And Wojtek hits this one down the third baseline foul. But yeah, the Blue Sox already lost Ross Curley for the rest of the regular season after he injured himself legging out an extra base hit. In this case, in Ross's case, it was a triple against Andre. Wojtek pops this one up on the infield. In comes Baker, and he makes the catch for out number one. So that'll bring up Thomas Russo. 1 for 1 with an RBI single. And that's high for ball one. Russo takes low, ball two. And Russo grounds this one up the middle. Nice diving stop by the second baseman Baker on to first. 2 down. Runner advances to third. So here's Nate Wolf. Just made a great defensive play in the bottom of the third. What can he do at the bat? Takes ball one. Throw down to third. Safe. McKinnott nearly strayed too far off of third. A snap throw by Bosco. Nearly had him. But it's 2-0. Hitters count for Wolf. Ball three. With John Putras on deck. That's in there for a strike, 3-1. Wolf grounded out to second to end the second, his last time up. And he swings and misses. That would have been easily ball four, but instead a full count. It was a full count to Wolf last time. And then he grounded out to second. And that's high for ball 4. So first and third for John Puttress. Now, Johnny Hayes going out to have a word with Therio and Bosco. Putty 1 for 1 with a single. Was stranded at third last inning. Chance to get the Blue Sox within 1 with a base hit here. Blue Sox dugout starting to whoop it up a little bit. And Putty takes strike 1. The Red Sox bullpen band as this is grounded into right field for a base hit. Coming in to score is McKinnott, and it is a 1-run game. Lineup turns over for Dominic Zaire, 1 for 2 with a single. Tying run now in scoring position. And Zaire fouls that one off for strike 1. Zaire in the biggest spot of the game thus far. Comes up empty, 0-2. Silvestro led this inning off with a double, but was pinch ran for after he pulled up lame coming into second. And he pops this one up, and that'll get out of play behind the Bulldogs dugout. Wolf at second, Puttress at first. '70th pitch of the game upcoming. Misses inside. Ball 1. Two runs, 6 hits. No errors and 3 left thus far for the Blue Sox. And this is laced down the third base line, but foul. Blue Sox dugout. Spreading out, lined up. Want to get a good view of maybe a big hit here for Dominic Zaire. He's already made a couple of big defensive plays in his short Blue Sox tenure. Looking for his biggest hit as a member of the Blue Sox. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Zaire doesn't like the call. The Blue Sox will have to settle for 1, and after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Bulldogs 3 and the Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Five, six, and seven hitters due up for the hitting Bulldogs here in the bottom of the fourth as Casey Bassone deals strike one to Zach Tallis, who hit a sacrifice fly his first time up in the first, and he takes strike two. After throwing 22 pitches in the first inning and allowing 3 runs on 3 hits, next 2 innings combined, Bassone threw 23 pitches and allowed just 1 hit. Tallis takes low, ball 1. It looks like both pitchers are a little wild here. They really a lot of bouncing these pitches. But no wild pitches thrown just yet. Well, excuse me, 1. As this is skied into right field and Alvarez makes the catch for out number 1. So Tallis is 0 for 1, and that brings up Kyle Brennan, who had a sacrifice fly of his own right. One to left field back in the first that brought home the most recent Bulldogs run. And he chops this one down the first baseline foul for strike 1. So Justin Silvestro leaving this game after pulling up lame into second base, legging out a double. Adds to Ross Curley on the shelf for the rest of the regular season, and Blue Sox have 3 more games after this week. As this has popped up, and then I'll get fouling out of play for strike 2. And they're against Wakefield, Watertown, and the Alabrandis, all of whom are jockeying for playoff position. That's low. 1 and 2. The Reds have a doubleheader that just started against Somerville. Blue Sox and Reds could finish today tied at 17-8 atop the standings. That's fouled off. Blue Sox have Wakefield tomorrow night. Watertown over at Bentley in Waltham. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bentley and Waltham on Tuesday, early evening game, 6 o'clock. And then they wrap up the regular season at home against the Alabrandis on Friday at 8 o'clock. But the Alabrandis and the Bulldogs have a lot of games, as this is skied into right field. Out goes Wolf, over goes Alvarez, but it's out of play for strike 1. The Bulldogs, after this game, still have 8 games left to play. And two of the makeups that they need to play haven't even been scheduled yet. It's down and in, 1-1. Foul tipped into the mitt, and it's 1-2. The only thing we know for sure about the playoffs is that the Blue Sox and Reds and Merchants have all qualified. And bounces, 2-2. And the Blue Sox can finish no lower than 5th. Still a lot to determine in this last week of the season. This is lined up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop, Brown. On to first. Good stretch by Wolf for the out that retires the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Bulldogs. And after 4 complete, it is still the Bulldogs 3 and the Blue Sox 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Three runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left for the Bulldogs. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 5 left for the Blue Sox as they continue to try and get back to even with the Bulldogs. Here's Morgan Brown to lead things off. And Brown takes ball 1. Brown is 0 for 1. Grounded out to third in the first and laid down a sac bunt in the third. That's high for ball 2. Doesn't look like any action behind either pitcher right now in the bullpens. Brown takes high, ball 3. Brown, Ferguson, and Alvarez, who are a combined 0 for 5, due up here. And that bounces. So the tying run aboard to begin the top of the 5th. Second walk of the game issued by Therio. Oh, it is? Okay. My bad. All right, so Therio is out of the game. My mistake. Ferguson takes at the knee, strike one. Looks like that's Pat Jordan on the mound right now as Ferguson hits this one into right center field. That gets down for a base hit. Brown around third. He's going to be waved home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Tie game. Ferguson at second with a double. So Pat Jordan, the new Bulldogs pitcher, walks the first batter he sees and then gives up a game-tying double. And now here's Julian Alvarez. And now that's going to bring Bosco out to the mound. Jordan is playing in only his second game. His last appearance was on July 1st against the Chiefs with one inning of scoreless, hitless relief. Tie game at 3. And Alvarez takes low, ball 1. Brushes Julian back a little bit, and it's 2-0. Alvarez takes ball 3, 3-0, doing a much better job holding off on these low balls. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center. It is 0 for on the doubleheader. Looking to race out with a big hit here. 3-0 the count. And that catches the inside corner, 3-1. Ferguson at second. The pitch. Driven deep to center. Back goes Hartwell to the wall. He leaps, it's gone! That's one way to break out of the slump. And the Blue Sox have a 5-3 lead. Somehow I knew that was going to happen. Three runs home, and it's 5-3 Blue Sox. And here's C.J. McKinnick getting his first at-bat of the ball game. And he takes down an in ball 1. Alvarez picks up his third home run and his 12th and 13th RBIs. That misses, ball 2. And time is called. It's going to bring Johnny Hayes out for a conference, as now there is action in the Bulldogs bullpen. And McKinnott takes ball 3, 3-0. High for ball 4. First 4 men to face Jordan have reached. Blue Sox looking for a big inning here. Got 3 home. And here's Alex Wojtek. 0 for 2 with 2 pop-outs. Wojtek takes ball 1. Throw over to first, and McKinnott back safely. Two and 0. Wojtek fouls this one off, and it's 2-1. Line on Jack Therio, who pitched well enough to get the win, but will get a no decision. Throw to first, and it's airmailed out of play. So that'll be an E1. And this is grounded to the third baseman, Nowak. He'll fire onto first. In time, 1 down. McKinnott holds at second. And that'll bring up Thomas Russo. 1 for 2 with an RBI single, and now here comes Johnny Hayes. And 1/3 of an inning is going to be the extent of the outing for Pat Jordan. We have a pitching change coming to you from Morton Field at Reading Memorial High School in Reading, Mass. Blue Sox 5, Bulldogs 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. New pitcher for the Reading Bulldogs is Brandon Malarkey. Pitched an inning in Game 1 of this doubleheader with 1 strikeout. So Pat Jordan goes 1/3 of an inning, allows 2 hits, 3 runs, and still responsible for the runner on second, McKinnott. 2 walks, no strikeouts, 1 home run. 19 pitches, only 6 for strikes. And he is relieved by Malarkey, who made his season debut in the first half of this doubleheader and now has to deal with Russo with a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Malarkey comes set. And he gets strike one in there, 0-1. Russo 1 for 2 with an RBI. Blue Sox striking for 3 runs in this inning to take a 5-3 lead. Julian Alvarez with a 2-run home run. Oh and 2. Blue Sox dugout didn't like that strike call, and I tend to agree with them. Russo hoping to come through with a base hit here. And he dribbles this one down the first baseline, foul. Sox can't take a 2-run lead for granted. We already saw the Bulldogs string together 3 in the first inning of this game. Misses for ball 1. Nate Wolf on deck. And McKinnott retreats to second as Malarkey avoids committing a balk there. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Big out there. Russo is retired, and there are 2 down for Nate Wolf. Wolf grounded out to second in the second and walked in the fourth. High with the fastball for ball 1 is Malarkey. So the Blue Sox didn't roll over after falling down 3-0. Well, they won the first game handily, but they didn't take big swing and a miss at a pitch at his eyeballs. Throw down to second, and back safely is McKinnott. 1-1 the count to Wolf. And Blue Sox won easily, 8-0 in the first game, and then fell behind 3-0. I was like, well, that'll take the wind out of your sails, but they hung tough. Very next inning, they got 1 run. Nearly had one in the third. Got one closer in the fourth to 3-2. Now here they are with the lead, 5-3. That's high for ball 2. Want to breathe a little easier. Try and get it to a 3-run advantage with 8, 9, and 1 due up next inning for the Bulldogs. 2-2 the count. A double and a 2-run homer account for the scoring in this inning. And goes back to second, but ends up not throwing, does Malarkey. And Wolf pops this one foul and out of play. No one warming behind Malarkey. The 2-2 popped up. Oh, boy. And Bosco will make the catch. I thought it was going to come a little closer to me than it did, but The inning is over, but the Blue Sox strike for 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and leave 1. After 4.5, it is Blue Sox 5, Bulldogs 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Casey Basone has faced the minimum since Mike Taylor's RBI single in the first. And the first pitch misses for ball 1 to Joey Hodap. Hodap's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. He hits this one into center field. In comes Ferguson. He dives. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Great effort by Ferguson, but it'll be a base hit. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate for the Bulldogs. Would have been almost the second. Fantastic defensive play by Ferguson today. Here's Dan Baker. He pops this one up into foul territory. Wolf on the run, but he will let it drop for strike 1. Baker is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Looks like Kevin Scanlon warming for the Blue Sox in case things get hairy for Basone. The pitch to Baker is a little looper into shallow right, and it will be caught by Russo. Hung onto it with Alvarez coming in close. So 1 down, and that brings up Darren Hartwell, the leadoff man. Hartwell is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. He's a tough man to double up. He pops this one up on the infield. Who's going to get it? Multiple people calling for it, but instead it'll be the first baseman, Wolf. So Wolf takes charge as the Blue Sox bench howls in approval. And let's see what Tyler Cedeno can do. Cedeno 1 for 1, hit by a pitch and scored in the first, singled in the third. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 1 left for the Bulldogs. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 6 left for the Blue Sox. Cedeno wants to bunt his way on, fouls it off for strike 1. This game has just reached the hour-and-a-half mark, and we're in the bottom of the 5th. Cedeno behind 0-1 with a runner at first and 2 out. And time is called. The heart of the order due up next, starting with Chris Bosco. And the 0-1. Into right field, Alvarez towards the line, and he will make the catch. Oh, he dropped it! And the throw into the infield is offline. Wow. Alvarez, that should have been the end of the inning. Instead, it's an E9. And the tying run at first and the go-ahead run at the plate in the person of Chris Bosco. Bosco 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the first, line to a 3-4 double play in the third. Throw over to first, back safely. Should have been the end of the inning, seriously. Bosco takes high, ball 1. Scanlon's ready to come in if necessary. Bosco hits this one into right center field. Back goes Alvarez, and he makes the catch this time for the out. That retires the side. Well, he redeems himself. That was hit hard and could have been dangerous, but 2 hands that time, Julian. After 5 complete, still Blue Sox 5, Bulldogs 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast, or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. Malarkey back out there for his first full inning of work, and he will face the 9-1-2 hitters John Puttress, Dominic Zaire, and Morgan Brown. First pitch to Putty is low for ball 1. Putty is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And Putty hits this one to short. It'll be fielded by Cedeno on to first. 1 down. That'll bring up Dominic Zaire, the left fielder. Zaire 1 for 3 with a single. As that's inside for ball 1. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 6 left for the Blue Sox. 3 runs, 5 hits. That's fouled off, 1-1. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 3 left for the Bulldogs. Two and one. Zare fouls that one to the right and now to play, and that'll even the count at 2-2. Blue Sox took the lead last inning with the first 3 batters reaching and scoring, a walk, a double, and a 2-run homer. Julian Alvarez has had kind of an adventure of a game, had the go-ahead home run, but also committed nearly a costly error in the field last half inning before making a secure 2-handed catch in right field. And a hard-hit ball in the alley. 2-2 the count to Zare. And the pitch. Scoops that one down the left field line, but that's going to hang up long enough for the left fielder Hotep to make the catch for out number 2. That pitch was nearly in the dirt, and to get as much distance and lift on it as Zare did was pretty impressive. So that'll bring up Morgan Brown. 0 for 1 with a sac bunt, a walk, and a run scored. Blue Sox looking for some insurance as that misses for ball 1. The bottom of the 6th, the Bulldogs will have the middle third of the order, Taylor, Tallis, and Brennan due up. And Brown hits this one into right field, and this will be caught on the run by the right fielder Brennan for the out that retires the side. So the Blue Sox go in order in the top of the 6th, and after 5.5, it is still the Blue Sox 5 and the Bulldogs 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox host the Wakefield Merchants. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand.